Well, hello there. Another night here. It's Friday night here, coming at you from Cave Creek, Arizona, and I want to welcome you all to tonight's show. We're got a lot of things planned for you, and we had such fun last night. We had so many people come through, and I really want to say how wonderful it feels to be able to reach everyone out there. Please let me know again with the audio and the sound. You know, I could forget to put a thing on, hit the wrong button, and and we're not sure what's going on the other end. But anyway, I got a lot of things planned for you tonight. And what I'd like to also, I'm going to announce it several times. Tomorrow night's going to be extra special. We're doing I'm going to be playing all ballads, and specifically, I want you to, at the end of this show tonight, I'm going to give you a little teaser. We're going to give you a little video of 6 minutes of me playing some. I put an MP3 together on an image, so you'll see a little bit of a taste of what, the kind of material I'll be playing. Of course, you'll be seeing the piano and tomorrow night, but it's going to be all ballads. I typically play a lot of ballads here in the house at night, so I'll be doing that, and it's an extra special one where I'm going to do all ballads. So tonight I'm going to play a little bit of a variety of things, and we're going to start off first of all with a wonderful tune called "Let's Fall in Love." That was called Let's Fall in Love. And how's the volume? Everything cool out there? Okay. Jimmy Page, Trisha, welcome. Sister Karen, Dan Young, Edgard. Good seeing you all. You know, this is really a great hang. We're I wanted to, for those that might have saw the intro video, that was a very special time for me. It was I was doing jazz trio stuff over in California for about 5 years, and it was really a exciting trio that I was involved with there, with Sinclair Lott on drums. Sinclair's living in the LA area, and Roger Shue, who we had so sadly lost a few years ago, and wonderful bass player and a human being. So I'm very honored and blessed to be able to have had that memories of playing with Roger and that particular trio. So I have a lot of stuff like that's on my YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. I see Kim Hilton coming in here, and Kim, thank you. Kim is responsible for me to have this wonderful microphone, and hopefully I'm doing it justice, Kim. I heard last night that I was getting rave reviews over the sound, so I'm dialing it in more and more all the time, so hopefully it's coming out really nice for you on the other end. Again, tomorrow night, I'm going to keep saying it, we're going to be doing ballads all night. It's going to be a kind of a date night. Get out the wine and cheese, and we'll be here. We're going to play all this real pensive stuff. And again, the last cut on this particular show tonight, I put together a special just solo piano thing of the beautiful composition I ended the show with last night called Humanity. It was written by Ed Saindon, and it just was just beautiful. You know, you really get to hear that piece of music. And we'll be doing a lot of things like that. It'll be a lot of my favorite ballads, a lot of my own originals, as well as other originals that other people have written, like Ed and other people, and just famous tunes, fun tunes to play. So I have a list of all those favorite ballads of mine, so get ready, and we'll have a good time tomorrow night. Spread the word, too. We had so many people that have chimed in last night. I was just overwhelmed with the response. It was just makes you feel so good to be doing this and being able to bring people together in such a kind of chaotic world right now we're in, and find peace and joy in the music. You know, so it's something that I have. I think I might have talked about it last night a little bit. I think we're all kind of reinventing ourselves and taking a good look at what tomorrow's going to bring. I know myself included, this is going to be something that I'm getting so much joy connecting with all you from afar. And I have, this is just a wonderful way to do it, and I plan on continue to do this. So when things get back to normal, and they will, I will promise you all I will continue to do this streaming opportunities to connect with everyone. So it's really great. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? We got, well, thank you, Kim. So nice, and it really is. It's something that, I see my sister out here. I see my sister. I don't get a chance to see her, but if I'm at best once a year. So, how cool is it to be able to connect with family like this too, And so, again, a lot of the tunes I'm choosing are rather unusual, not often heard. That was kind of a common one, Let's Fall in Love. But again, not often called and not often seen people play. This next one particularly, it's a beautiful tune called Polkadots and Moonbeams. Polkadots and Moonbeams. Again, one of those kind of rare tunes. You don't really hear that. Yeah, Jim, all you need is a burger from the White Mountain Hotel. You know, this goes back. I see some distant friends that have been like part of my life for a long, long time. And Jimmy happens to be one. He was coming to the White Mountain Hotel. I played there for 11 years, in the dining room there. And beautiful place overlooking all Mount Washington Valley. It's a very, very special place for me. So if you ever get a chance to go back east, it's a wonderful place to take in the foliage. There's no better place around. And let's see what else we got out here. Okay, Bob Galligan's in. Let's see. We got hey, it's so nice. If I'm leaving you, forgetting you, or not seeing you, it's just one of those kind of technical things. It's not, you can't really see everyone. But anyway, I'll be sure to touch in with all of you at the end of the show. And this next tune is kind of another great one. I've heard, I listened to Oscar Peterson play it. I remember when I was a kid, I was really obsessed with Oscar. And then as I started studying with, Charlie Banacus turned me on to Barry Harris and, Hank Jones and Wynton Kelly and, McCoy and, all the different genres. And it's funny, I think that was one thing that I remember as a young kid that I would recommend to anyone. You really want to try to listen to as many stylistics, kind of thing, stylings of jazz piano, because there's so much to it. So what I do with all my students, and it's something that I was kind of caught in my own little thing when I was 16 and 17, listening to Oscar, and then I was listening to some Ramsey Lewis, and I was listening to Cannonball and Cannonball Adderley and his albums, and and I was stuck into that thing where I found that by spreading out my listening power a little bit, and I did that, of course, when I got studying deeper and looking at different things. But I recommend to my students now, don't go out and get a million records of Oscar or Art Tatum. Get one and then go off and get another one from a different kind of player. So you have different players all the time that you're kind of digging. And a lot of times you can find similar tunes played by different artists that can all interpret different, because this jazz artistry is totally a personality, and it's a personal thing. I'll never play a tune the same way night after night. So that's the marvel of this kind of music. Denny, man, it's this is a funny thing. I have to chime in here and say that it made my night last night when Denny Mons, for those that might not know Denny, he's a wonderful, wonderful trumpet player. He's one of the cats in town here. And he was saying how much he was digging it last night, and he took out his horn with his harmon, and I says, man, if I had known that, I would have been like, I would have played a few choruses of just changes for you to blow, because he was playing and his kids were digging it. So I thought that was the coolest thing. Unfortunately, I get a lot of players right now are trying to figure out this whole streaming thing where we can actually interact and play with other players, man. And it's would be really a real ball, but there's that's another whole learning curve. So if it's out there, I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, what I'm going to be doing is, just so you know, I've got kind of this kind of really got a hold of me. When I get something I really like doing, and this is like I was telling people, I feel like I'm playing a giant piano bar where people are coming in to the gig, and I can see Denny and Denny Doyle, hey man, and Dan Young and Jim Page. I mean, I get all these people. It's like, it's just so cool, I mean, it'd be nice if I had this kind of response when I was sitting at the Ritz-Carlton for a million years, sitting in the dining room. But but I do plan on eventually, when the dust settles here, to be doing some streaming of duos. You might have heard myself and Chris Stewart before. Chris is a marvelous alto player and a very dear friend of mine, extraordinary talent. Jerry Donato, I posted some things up recently. We had our last gig, kind of like on the 15th on a Sunday, and we were sitting up at Keeler's here upstairs and for a private party, and we had the most fun. It was so fun. So those are the kind of things I like to bring streaming, and also I might even go further where we eventually get jazz trios in here, so we can come at you that way. This next tune is another one. I go back to it, but I learned it from Oscar Peterson, and it's just one of those. It's kind of a tough tune, but I'm going to give it a wing. I haven't played it in a while. It's called Lover. There you have it, Lover. It's definitely takes you all over the place, man. It's tough tune, and if you have a chance to hear other players play it, it's definitely one of those kind of obscure tunes. Kind of check it out. The hope everyone's doing good. It's kind of cold one out there today, man. It was like you go from these, in Arizona, for the people back east, we were in the 70s there, and then all of a sudden high of 58 here in Cave Creek. So it was definitely a pretty wild time, go from one spectrum to the other. Anyway, I'm going to continue now with another really cool tune. I'm going to do it a little differently. It's called Out of Nowhere. There you have it. Out of nowhere. Oh, see who stopped in. Oh, Rosie, good seeing you. Len Whitmore, good seeing you, Lenny. My daughter, Brooke. And, it's kind of cool, it's really even within. My daughter, Michelle. All my kids, it's the only time I can get them all together is when we're live streaming, No, it's really, we contact each other quite regularly, so it's really, it's so nice to see them all. They're all doing well. I've often got asked the question, do your kids play piano? This is really kind of an interesting thing, because I've been always the teacher that was never one to kind of push it on them, I mean, I was always teaching. I think they grew up taking it for granted. I had pianos in every room but the bathroom. It was like pianos all over the house, under the bed, grand piano. And I remember Brooke would be the one with, and Michelle would just watch, but Brooke would be my daredevil. She'd be the one getting her Barbies with her car going off my 7-foot, piano in my house in New Hampshire, sending them down the lid. Until Dad caught him, like, oh no, don't do that to my beautiful piano. But anyway, it's and they have memories of that, sticking Barbies, inside, and sleeping under the strings and everything else. But it's definitely fun. Joe Victor, oh man, good seeing you, Joe. These are all high school buds. We go back, it's a long time, man. It's really, really, it's so awesome to see the connection you have. And it's kind of sad in a way that you have to have a world crisis like this to pull everyone together. But, sometimes it's I think when we get through this, everyone's going to come out on the other side in a different place with a new appreciation of humanity and, and life in general, I think that's a great thing. And this tune that I have showing up at the very end of this presentation here, it's going to announce my show tomorrow night. It's going to be all ballads, and you got to come by. It's going to be such a great time. Seema's already getting the wine and cheese. I'll have my old duels. And Joe Victor, man, he'll remember this. Man, I gave up drinking 37 years ago. But we were back in the day, living in Boston and just things were so much different back then, and being in this business of as an entertainer, I have the utmost respect with anyone struggling with that particular addiction. So it was something that I was able to kind of put it to bed, and as a result, I redirected my energy into all these other things that I do, and so it's good. So if you have anyone at this time. Often these kind of world crises, like something like this, could surely test someone. And if you have anyone, be there for them, because it's something that I just know that it feels good to be come out the other side and and know that I'm that I've conquered that and been away from it. This next tune coming up again is another really tough tune to play. Not many people play it. It's called Prelude To A Kiss. Another Duke Ellington tune. I played some Duke tunes, and what I'm doing is I'm writing out lists. I mean, there's so many tunes. So I could literally do this every day, for the rest of my life. I just play tunes, but I'm writing a list of all these tunes I'm doing and all these broadcasts. So I'm trying not to repeat anything. So this is Prelude To A Kiss, Duke Ellington. Prelude to a Kiss, just one of those. Just I love that tune. Just sits so nice, and it gives you the expression to kind of play it bluesy, and you can do all kinds of cool things with it. Duke has written some great tunes. Duke Ellington. I played one a few nights ago. Was the Melancholia? Was really really great, and it's really some special music coming out of him. The what was I going to say? We have there's so much going on. I do want to extend. A lot of you people know that I'm out there right now. Vicky McDermott, one of the greatest singers around, and real jazz fan. It's I see Vicky, and again, it's hard to see, because sometimes I see the people coming in. A lot of times they're commenting on other videos because I get so many coming up on my stream right now. So it's so nice that we're getting so much action and so much connection with everyone. It's so cool. But I do want to extend an offer, and it's something I'm going to be putting out there to everyone. And I've spoken to several people already. People had known that I was one of the first in the world to do video correspondence. 1989, I was very proud to be able to say that the Keyboard Magazine had written about what I was doing. I was doing it with these big SVHS cameras and audio tapes and videos, and I moved to New Hampshire in 1993, and I went up to the White Mountains, and I was able to live a life and raise my kids with goats, and I had goats and dogs, and a house up in the hill, and we skied every day, and I was a ski instructor, so it enabled me to go after this, that kind of lifestyle. So I went up there, and the funny story was when I was just doing this video correspondence, and they would all come to these priority mail boxes, and I get to know, in a small town, Madison, New Hampshire, that actually it was really cool. You get to know the guys behind the counters, and they become your buds, and they were leaving the lessons for me out back. But it was really fun, and everyone in town was saying, "Does this guy ever work? He just stays home all day with a bunch of kids." I had 4 kids, but I was home working and watching my kids' Barbies go down the lid of my piano. So anyway, try to keep them from getting into too much trouble. But I got so many great stories, but I had been very much involved with teaching by correspondence, and I built a library. I have over 2,000 videos in my library, all HD videos, and it took a lot of time. But I wasn't under the crisis mode where everyone had to invent themselves to teach online overnight. So I'm more than happy to talk to anyone that is at all interested or wants to just chat about this. I mean, I have some ideas that might work, that might save you some things, what worked for me and what didn't, and I can share I've been over 30 years doing it, so it's kind of like I got some insight on it a little bit. Of course, technology has changed and everything since VHS cameras. I'm doing it now with Final Cut Pro and 5 sources here and SD cards and editing software and everything. So I'm doing a little something different than a Skype that students would send their playing to me by on videos through Google Drive. And I critique them with a live video back, and then they go into my library. They get all the videos and the PDFs, and it's 1 lesson a month. So it really is very, very powerful. But I wouldn't recommend that aspect of design because it's just so time consuming to build it, you know. But I do have some really, really cool tips. So if anyone's out there who wants to talk to me, just Dan at pianoinstruction.com, and I'll have all the time in the world to give you. So I want to help anyone through this. Dan Young wants 4 hours more. Yeah, you know what? The thing is, I could do it. It's like, it's funny. I know a lot of you know Nicole Pesci, my good buddy. Me and Nicole became very close when I was playing as a house pianist at the Ritz-Carlton here before they closed, or actually they changed owners to another hotel there. But Nicole was playing T, and I was playing in a dining room. But me and Nicole are kind of like those players where we can play like 2-hour sets and kind of thing, and just play tune to tune. So I love her very much, and check her out if you're ever out there. I'm also going to take a moment too to plug some of my buddies out there. There's, of course, Ed Saindon is my very, very good friend. He's been on the faculty at Berklee College of Music. You're going to be listening to his composition when I leave the screen here tonight, and you're going to hear this, and this is a marvelous piece of music. You got to hear this, okay? This is like I played it last night at the end of the show, but I went and I sat on the piano this morning with my coffee, and I sat down and I played it, just an audio file of this, and I put it over an image. And it's going to give you an idea of what's going to be in store for tomorrow night. I'm going to play all solo, all ballads tomorrow night, so it'll be a real blast. So I'll be right in my element. I'll be doing a lot of my tunes and some of my favorite ballads of all time. Okay, so I call it my date night. But every night's a date night because we're all home right now. So make the best of it and go out and have some fun and tomorrow night, and hope to see you. And then Sunday, I'm going to be coming at you at 5 o'clock because I'm trying to reach my East Coast peeps out there, and hopefully we can get them a little bit earlier because they're staying up so kind of sit up until 10, 11 o'clock to listen to this wild man in Arizona, So this next tune and the last tune for the night is, and I'm going to leave you with, let's see, anyone else here I want to say hi to? I mean, this is like I think I saw Tim come through. Tim was another, student of mine over at PV College. Wonderful, wonderful cat, with a heart of gold, I mean, I get to know all these people. We've become like really close friends, so, and I see Dan Young, and Dan Young was one of my students when I was teaching when I was 18 years old, so what's that, like, well, I don't want to do the math, like 45 years ago? What is it? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, something like that. So and we're still connected, isn't it? It's wild. So and he's still playing all the time. And this kid was like a gymnast, like a world-class gymnast. Back when he was a little kid, and he's till this day he's still in the field. So out there helping others. So anyway, I'm gonna round out the night tonight. Let's see, anyone else here? I gotta. It's hard. It's not letting me see who's coming in, But anyway, I won't forget you. I'll be sure to say hi and when I wind down here, and be sure to check out some of the other nights. We had a lot of fun. A lot of people coming through. I really can't say enough about it. I'll tell you what. Let's take it right now. I'm going to give you two more. I'm going to do one right now. A little bit of a pensive mode. And another tune from Duke Ellington that's a really cool tune called In a Sentimental Mood. And then I'll wind it off with one more, and then I'll leave you for my little tune called Humanity that Ed Saindon wrote. It's just really something to hear. Okay, so this is In a Sentimental Mood. In a Sentimental Mood. And okay, we're going to wind down with one more tune. And again, I want to remind you all, wait to the end of this one and then watch. I hope the screen, because if I'm playing with the software stuff and I'm learning it all, it's all like kind of new, foreign stuff when you get into streaming. I'm assuming that I'm seeing I haven't heard any complaints about the sound. I want to make sure the sound's coming through really nice for you guys. Again, special thanks to Earthworks Microphones. I'm an artist for the company, and I'm very proud to be part of this wonderful world-class company. It's like a family. They're like a small company delivering world-class product, and that's what this piano mic is here, and this is what you're hearing this piano with tonight. And I got a Yamaha C3. It's a really great one, so it really makes it really nice because I'm, not always blessed to have these kind of pianos on a gig, so to have it in my own house, it's like you'll see me do these long sets, Dan Young. I still do that on gigs too, but I often you're stuck with something you'd rather play an electric piano. This last tune is a fun one to play, and but before I do that, again, I want to remind you tomorrow night, ballads, a night full of ballads, starting at 7:00. And then on Sunday, I'll be back for the 5 o'clock. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are my big teaching days here. So I'll be taking some time off there those 3 days. But I'll be back at you next Thursday. So try to make the next couple. And keep it up. Bring some people in. Have a good time. This last tune is called It's Only a Paper Moon. It's only a paper moon. And again, thank you all for being with me tonight. And I want to leave you with a very special piece of music called Humanity. And it's going to be sampling of what's going to happen tomorrow night. I just put an image on there so you can kind of get the mood of what's going to be happening. Okay, so hope you enjoy. Everyone have a good night. God bless. Take care.